Greetings and welcome to my dear Gemini. This is Ron from Tarot of the Twin Sun. Tarot of the Twin Sun is a functional division within the Order of the Twin Sun. Please take only what you will. Mercury is going to be interesting. I'm not sure if it's going to retrograde this month, but this is a mercurial reading for the energy of Gemini, okay, in the month of September 2022. And I do feel by intuition that Mercury will definitely push forward something. Now, in terms of past energies that influence this reading, the Lionsgate that was open on the 8th activated for you, 3, 4, 5, your third house. Okay. And because of such, a voice wants to make itself known, a voice of a friend, something like this, someone that you may be associated with needs to make a form of communication through the Lion's Gate, okay? And the interesting thing is that if Mercury is involved, it will activate in your third house, solarly, your solar third house. It will activate essentially through the energy of Leo, a very creative impulse or design, okay, that allows for you to manifest forms of communication through different planes of existence with others, okay? And it's primarily playful in nature, but also you could bring forward like a leadership quality in this. One thing to keep in mind is that any form of egoism won't sit well with this, even though the ego can be used as a vehicle to traverse the astral plane. It is essentially something that becomes disintegrated when it comes to the purification of the Lionsgate, the fire, that it's like the ring of fire. So it's important to not to attach to this dynamism or what's unfolding in the next month, not to attach to anything that results out of it, but to treat it with dignity and creativity and the lightness of friendship, okay? So let's go ahead and get into the first part of the reading, which is essentially a karmic reading, what's going on in terms of actions that need to be fulfilled in this cycle of September. Okay, from what I see here, there's a possibility an intuitive hit is coming in that has to do with the flipping of energy in order to bring forward a connection that would serve you, that would allow you to essentially create a sense of what is yours in terms of your own space, your own design. This could do with essentially, let's see, the ability to put forward your energy into different places to get over fear. So it's like FOMO, the fear of missing out. There's an ability for you to place your resources into different hands, different piles, in order to manifest something, but then it's not just manifesting one thing, it's manifesting two. So it's not duplicitous in nature. There's something about this process that has to do with the intuitive hit that you will find something proper to call your own, to allow you to express yourself within this space, and to do so respectfully by essentially giving your hand to multiple places, okay? This is the balanced approach, especially when it comes to love or when it comes to the idea that you have to get over certain things when it comes to that department. Now, let's move on. Now, we'll be doing the 9-card spread known as the Great Mirror. The Great Mirror is a tool devised by the Order of the Twin Sun in order to see particular karmas or energetic resonances that exist between the energy of Gemini and the opposite. Now, the interesting about this is that the truth that you seek through other individuals when it comes to solar resonance with them, it involves these people that are transforming their own sense of truth to be humbled by it in order to manifest realistic change or realistic manifestation of these truths that are indeed intense and profound. They could also be bipolar in nature. And because of this axis of mutability, of changing, of fluidity, of growth and maturity, that allows for the true strength to emerge. True strength comes through flexibility. The mystery of this axis brings forward in Gemini and Sagittarius the understanding that you can learn from this type of individual. Okay, now let's move on. So the Great Mirror will show, in an illusory way, possibilities. This has to do with clairvoyance. So take only what you will, and know that all visions, by their very nature, are illusory. Okay. Okay, so the North Node is highly activated with you this month, and within this connection, there's something about you that has this capacity for great manifestation with Taurus in Uranus conjunct the North Node. Okay, there's something here about a new moon cycle in which Mercury activates a vision of beauty that is being projected upon you, a vision of desire, and perhaps you emit this as well, something where you feel constrained or you need to break free in a wild way, in a wild design, in order to find sensualities or understand the sensibilities of your own particular constitution. Okay. And with this, there's a beauty, there's a grace, there is design. Also, what you're bringing forward is a sense of the wheel of fortune, in which karma may affect itself, in which the sliding scales of our own representation in terms of society, in terms of a norm or a status quo, are being completely and irrevocably changed, effaced, in order to find a sense of ascension. Okay. This is a beautiful thing. At the same time, there's something about you that deep down treats this connection in a very cool way, okay? Very cool and exacting, detached way. The irony is that they are also very detached. There's something about them that is going through a process of pain and understanding through pain in order to bring forward the realm of experience. Now, what this contributes to is the sense of an ending. The end of a cycle, the end of a way of doing things, the wheel turns. So there's a lot of temptation in this connection. There also is a type of fear that they have, or that they are projecting this energy of fear. Because the Six of Swords is here in the center, in the conscious realm, there is a root, there is a possibility of an escape plan, of some form of escapist dreamism. There's something about getting away from emotional content to understand what this type of connection really is. On one side, they understand themselves through pain, and perhaps you're here to give them a way out of that, to give them some sort of helping hand in terms of embodying a sense of your presence. Okay, and your presence gives them either a sense to get away from this or something like that. I don't like this connection too much, because what this points to is some form of fear or trauma that they need to go through, that they need to express. But then perhaps you are sacrificing yourself to deal with their psychosomatic energies. And in this, there's healing to be had. There's something about it where you can rise to a certain degree to show the light from the day, and also to show an element of devotion when it comes to the need for nurturing, the need for reflection. Okay, if this is a friend, or this is someone who is connected to you, they're looking to you for this type of reflection. But then with Uranus conjunct the North Node in Taurus, there's something about you that they see as, okay, it would be Taurus, it would be some sort of spiritual thing, some sort of release. Okay, be careful. Do not let their own toxic motivations influence you in such a way that it would harm you. I don't think it would, though. That's the thing, because you are the master of the sword sequence and you understand this. The truths behind the truths, the darker and the lighter aspects of truth when it comes to communication, or when it comes to the coloration of the mind. Okay, you understand. The Two of Swords emerges out of this as well. Four of Swords in the reverse. What comes out of this is a restless energy. I don't like this very much. They're looking for experience, but then there's this restless energy. There's a need to change and spin the wheels in order to find fruition, to find sensuality, especially with this person, whatever that means. And there also is a possibility here of them trying to understand some of the traumas that come from the cycles of expectation, some of the traumas. Okay, so three of Cups emerges out of this. It's not in the reverse. It's a difference. They are looking for a friend, I think. They are looking for someone to relate to in terms of what they're going through, in terms of the development of their emotional intellect. Okay, because there's a lot of swords, there's a lot of water in what they do. They're looking for experience, they're looking for a way to heal. Okay, and you can provide this for them by by essentially separating the night from the day. It's as if they are the night, you are the day, and then there's a meeting between the two, so that there's a reflective quality between the sun and the moon, for example. What I'm seeing here is great wisdom coming from this connection. Whatever you do or whatever pans out with this person, there's an element of a structure that can be very balanced as well, some sort of intuitive growth that can emerge from this that would allow for wisdom to shine through. I see here dissension, as well as a possibility for Sagittarius to understand itself. Okay, with Temperance in reverse, this type of thing requires a great deal of patience. But because the 7th house is activated from you, if you're a solar first, for example, that is solar Gemini, then Sagittarius becomes impatient. Then there is no patience in the alchemy that is trying to be understood here. Therefore, a motherly instinct comes from your side, okay, through the energy of Cancer. And this could be dissent, considering that out of all the zodiac signs, Sagittarius is possibly one of the ones that is the black sheep, that is the explorer that leaves and projects themselves furthest away from the moon's energy, from mother's energy, okay, to explore the infinite, to explore anything that is away from the womb. That all being said, what I see here is primarily an element of restlessness that comes, and then a need to understand some of the more hidden aspects in this dynamic, in this relationship, and it becomes detached, it becomes black and white, and it becomes an understanding of divergent truths or divergent paths that clash together in terms of communication. So there's a conflict here that comes through restlessness, and it needs to be understood and not manifested through fear. Okay, that is the best I can do. It's kind of convoluted and esoteric, but that's what you get for coming to my channel. I do wish you well. Thank you. Bye-bye.